Hello house, you're welcome to my channel. My name is Dvisa Kingsley. I want to welcome you especially to this episode. If you're a returning subscriber, I want to especially thank you. I want to appreciate all the effort you guys are making, your comments, your reactions, and your sharing of my content and all of that. May God continue to bless you. And if this is the first time you're joining me, I will urge you to subscribe to my channel, though it's not a kind of when you go through my content that I've made already and you find it very resourceful and you feel like it's something you would like to be getting, feel free to subscribe. And here I build a family of those who are willing and who are ready to take actions. I build a family of those who can actually take actions in order to see that they achieve their dreams and they achieve their ambitions, and not really those who will just have a large dream and a big one and then they sit at home waiting for that dream to be actualized. Such thing doesn't exist anywhere. If you want to achieve it, what you need to do is just to stand up on your feet and take actions in order to see how to realize those dreams. And here on this channel, that is the kind of people I build. I help people as much as I can, because I believe one thing, that if everyone can get whichever help he or she needed at whichever time he or she needed it, and the person is able to achieve his or her dream, the world would be able to please. And wherever way you feel like you can help, wherever way you feel like this is what I can do, why don't you do it and leave the rest for God to do, right? And that is why I am on this particular platform, sharing love, sharing information. Today, I want to talk about a topic that most of my subscriber has really been asking me. And even if you're not my subscriber and maybe you're finding it difficult in trying to relate in this particular topic, here is the best place. Stick to this video to the end and you are going to benefit a lot. Many people are not aware of the difference between resident permit card and then day visa, right? Most people are not aware of it. Some of us got admission, some of us got contract, and we don't really know the difference. If when applying for our resident permit to Finland, we don't really know the difference between these two. I'm going to give the detailed explanation of these two so that we understand it. I'm going to tell you why you need resident permit card and why you need day visa, if actually you need both of them, and if you will be needing only one, and if it's only one that you will be needing, which one would that be? Is it the resident permit card or the day visa? So stick to this video. Apart from this, I'll also be telling us some certain things we need to know, especially those who are coming to Finland through job routes, right? So you're right, as a resident permit holder, I may not be going deeply to state all the rights, because it's going to be a long video. I want to make this one a very short one, right? And especially as one of the people I know, one of my colleague fell victim of this because he didn't know his right, and he was actually deported. And if you wouldn't want to be in his shoes, if you wouldn't want to be in his condition, and you're planning moving to Finland, I think you have to stick to this video, right? I'm also going to discuss what your employer has the right over and what he or she doesn't have the rights once he or she is your employer. So without wasting much of our time, let me start from resident permit card, right? I doubt in this our present generation somebody will be asking me, can I apply or get Finish Visa without getting a job or without getting admission? My dear, it is not possible. If you want to get Finnish resident permit, right? If you want to get a Finnish resident permit, you must either have a job or you have admission, or better still, you're going as an entrepreneur. You apply for an entrepreneurial resident permit, as the case may be. So if you have gotten a job, if you have gotten a work contract and you want to apply for visa, you want to apply for resident permit in Finland, you go to Enterfinland, right? You go to that enterfinland.fi. That is where you make your application. That particular website, you're going to see an option for day visa and you are going to see an option for resident permit card. Now, resident permit card is the main card you needed in order to have the legal right to migrate to Finland, right? But when you make your application and your application is being approved, the card is not always ready. The card takes about 2 weeks or thereabout. In some cases, it may take 3 weeks. In some cases, it may take 1 weekend for it to get to you. But mostly it takes 2 weeks and above for it to get to you. But while waiting, if what you're going for instance, you're going for studies and maybe your academic activities is kind of starting maybe next year, next month, or maybe in the next week, let me see, right? So it's very urgent for you to migrate to Finland. You don't have that time to wait till that resident permit card is approved. That is when you apply for Dvisa. Now, what is Dvisa itself? Dvisa is that document or that permit that allows you to get into Finland even without your resident permit card. Guys, you know that resident permit card is the main permit that you have to migrate to Finland. But Dvisa itself is a kind of visa, is a kind of waiver that you have to allow you migrate to Finland. When you get to Finland now, you now give immigration office your address. You now give them your post address and everything they needed, the address they need to post your resident permit card to. But if you are not in a haste to move to Finland, it is better for you to apply for resident permit only. Why? Number one is that it is cost friendly. Resident permit card alone, if it's for an employed person, costs around 470 euros, right? I don't know that of students, but because I didn't go through the student route. So if you are applying for only resident permit card for an employed person, it will cost you 470 euro. But if you include resident permit, card and Dvisa, it's around 490 or 500 or thereabout. That is the amount. Now you can see that you can save yourself about 20 euro or thereabout when you did not apply for Dvisa. Dvisa is only used when you are in their condition, in a condition where you need to be in Finland as soon as possible. If that is not your case, I don't see the reason why you should be applying for it. I didn't say it's bad, it's good. If you have the money, you can. But it only allows you to get into Finland without your resident permit card getting to you. When your resident permit is approved by MIGRATE, by the Finnish Immigration Office, you go to your Enterfinland account. When you go to your Enterfinland profile, you're going to see that your resident permit has been approved, right? You can print out those documents stating that it's been approved, but you don't have the right to go to Finland or enter Finland because your resident permit card is not already here with you. So you have to wait till they order for the card and the card gets to you. That is why when you are applying in your country, if you submitted your application, they will also ask you to pay the charges for courier services if only you applied for resident permit. But if you apply with Dvisa, they will ask you to submit both your application and your passport, because when the resident permit is approved, they will stamp the Dvisa in your passport. But if you did not apply for Dvisa, they will give you back your passport when you are going after your application. Then when it is approved, they are now going to send that particular resident permit card to you, right? They will send the resident permit card to you. I'm searching to see if I can get it so that we'll see how it looks like, right? So this is the resident permit card, how it looks like, right? This is it, and this is my passport. You cannot see anything here. There is no Dvisa here because I did not apply for the Dvisa. So when they now send that resident permit card, when it gets to you, that is when you can now travel. And now with that resident permit card, you can get to any European, any Schengen country of your choice, right? But it's better you first of all get to where you're going. That is Finland, before you can now do whatever you want to do with it. But with it, you're fully covered. So I think I've been able to explain, I've been able to give you a hint on resident permit and card and resident permit and the Dvisa. So the next thing I will want to, deliberate on is your right when you have this resident permit card. Let me share a story of a guy who came in. I got a job contract. He also got a job contract with the same company. Then when we now, his own was that he also applied for D visa. So he wasn't patient enough to wait for his resident permit card to get to him, right? So he submitted that, he submitted the address of the company that employed him for the immigration office to forward his resident permit card to the company, because he already assumed that he's going to the company to work. Once he starts working, they will post it and he will collect it. But unfortunately for him, the job he found was a job that requires a test. You need to pass that test before you can now fully be employed in Finland. So he was sent to Estonia. He got to Estonia, because with your resident permit card and even your day visa, you can travel to any European country of your choice, any Schengen country. So he got to Estonia. After getting to Estonia, he wasn't really good in the job he got, and the company, he fell short of the test they gave him, so he wasn't taken by the company, and the company asked him to go back, right? The guy is actually from Cameroon. The company asked him to go back to his country, and this is the person who has borrowed money from Cameroon. He paid his flight ticket. He paid for his resident permit card. The company never paid for the resident permit card. He was the one that paid for it. And when he gets to the company, because he didn't pass the test, or he wasn't up to the grade the company needed, he didn't perform better to the level the company needed, they sent him back. They asked him to go back to his country, right? And being that he's a person that doesn't have this information I am sharing to you now, he foolishly left back to his country. Why did I say foolishly? Because assuming he knew his rights, assuming he knew things to do, assuming he knew how the system works, it's not done for him to move back to his country. It's not as if it's impossible. And he moves back to his country. The company now, he was now asking for his resident permit. The company now told him that when he gets to Cameroon, that they are going to send his resident permit card to him in Cameroon. And by that time, it may have been annulled, and he may not really do anything with it, and it's a pity. So that is why I come today, in order to tell you the right you have if you face this kind of situation, if you face this kind of condition. Me and the guy applied for the same job. We saw the same thing. They asked me as well to go back to my country, but being the fact that I advised the guy everything I can, but he was contemplating if he's going to move from maybe Estonia to to Germany, or move to Norway, or move to a neighboring country. Then he was now contemplating, what if the company reports him, or what if this happened, or what if that happened, what will he do? So he thought the best thing for him to do is just to go back to his country, and that is the worst thing to ever do. That is the worst decision. So what did I do? Me that was in the same condition, I found out that I did not tell the company that I'll be leaving to Finland, but what I did at that particular time was that I found out what they were trying to do. They asked me to book a flight ticket and then return to my country. I said, okay. Actually, the human resource person asked me to look for available flight and see how to. I said, okay. Then I went on and made my own researches and found out that with my Finnish resident permit card, I can even move from the Estonia I am to Finland. So what I did, when they were still expecting me to be searching for flight, I took a ship that was going from Estonia to Finland. I got to Finland, and when I got to Finland, I didn't tell my employer. I got to Finland, and when I got, because I didn't want any situation whereby, though they don't have any legal right to do anything, but then being that, somebody who just came into that particular country, you don't know how things work out. I don't know anybody in Finland as of then, because our agreement, according to my work contract, is that I am actually the company is the one that is going to get an appointment for me. They are the ones that are going to get me registered, get everything that I need to do, both my bank account in Finland and everything. But unfortunately, we didn't pass the test, right? So they are not going to do all that. That is why they asked us to go. And then I came to Finland. When I came to Finland, I contacted the company and told them that I've left Estonia, that I'm currently I've left. Okay, I did not first of all tell them that I've left Estonia. I first of all told the woman that, she asked me, have I gotten a flight? I told her that no, that I'm currently in Estonia, that I'm searching for, since you said you cannot provide a job for me and I gave you time to look for a job for me. You said you can't find any other job, that I'm currently looking for. I've already made application to some companies, that I am waiting for their response. Do you understand? Then she now said, oh, that's good, that's very good. So how much time do you give, are we giving you to stay in our apartment? You can see their mentality, that the burden is just the apartment, or the cost they are incurring having us there. So, but I didn't tell them I've left already. So I told her that as soon as they want me to leave the apartment, that I can as well leave the apartment, because I have my own plans. Then 2-3 days later, I now called and told them that I've left the apartment. I'm now currently in Finland trying to get a job. And why I did that was because I have the information that if you have a resident permit, what you need to do is, even if your current employer refuses or maybe lay you out, you have 3 months to look for a job. You can legally stay in Finland and you have 3 months to look for a job. If you get a job under that particular, if you get a job that is in line with that particular permit they gave you, you don't have a problem. What you need to do is you continue your job normal. You don't have to report to anybody, because I contacted immigration myself. But if you did not find a job under that particular profession they gave you, what you need to do is you have to reapply when you get another job. For instance, I'm a welder and I get a cleaner job. What I have to do is, when the cleaning company issues me a new contract, I have to use it and reapply for a resident permit for a cleaner, right? Which they will issue to me, and I'll be fine with it. I'll keep working. So, but this guy doesn't have this knowledge. So please and please, when you're coming to Finland for a job, I would prefer you not to, come or say you are posting your resident permit card to anywhere. Better still wait for that resident permit card in your home country. Collect it, hold it in your hand before you start moving. And that is what I did, and that is my saving grace, right? So I prefer you to have it in your hand. Please do not send it to anybody. Do not send it to any company. Though this is why Finland is good. If it's in Finland is not all these Arab country, or all these like Dubai or anywhere you will enter a country and somebody will seize your passport or seize your destiny. It is not. If the guy knows it's right, even if the company is with it, what he would have done is to travel from Estonia to Finland, come to Finland, meet the company and request for his resident permit. Why would he request for it? Because he has every right. It is his own personal property. He paid the resident permit money card with his money. He paid for his application. He got it and every other thing. The only way, that is why this is going to the part I told you you're right. The only way they can terminate your or annul your resident permit is, first, if you submitted any wrong information to the immigration that made them to make a decision to approve your resident permit. Maybe you forged a certificate, or maybe they found out that you gave them wrong information, or maybe you concealed any information that would have made them to make a different decision, or maybe you committed a crime or any other thing. Apart from that, you still retain your right to your resident permit, and it is your right to have it. And that is why, if you're coming, I will beg you to stay. Please get that your resident permit, hold it with you. It is very, very good. It is very, very good. You do, no matter how you are rushing, except maybe you are already settled, or maybe you already know where you're going to, right? You already know where you're going to, then you can. But for me, I will advise that you get your resident permit card. So another one I want to explain is some of us that are asking me, what does it mean for one to have maybe in your work contract, they will say you have a 6 months probation period or trial period. Now, that company was able to do that because in my work contract, they included that I have a 6 months probation trial period. It means that within this period, from the first month you entered Finland to the 6 months, they have the right to sack you, right? If you're not meeting what they need, or if they have reasons to. You understand? They have the right to sack you. They have the right to withdraw their contracts from you. That is the 6 months. That means that within these 6 months, if you are on probation period, you have to try all your best. It's not only for those who are working there, those who also are in research, those who came to Finland as students for research or thereabout. Some of them also have 6 months trial period. So this 6 months is the month which you have, or some of them 3 months, some of them 2 months, but mine was 6 months. You have from then till that time to do everything you can in order to see that you meet up. So after that 6 months, they will retain you permanently, and that is what it means in that particular in that regard. So it doesn't mean that they are going to give you a 6 months visa. No. Whether you have 6 months probation period, 2 months probation period, or trial period, and your contract is and you have a work contract, if you apply for a visa, as long as it is not, your contract didn't state that work is only to be done for 6 months, as long as it's a 1-year contract, but it has a 6 months or 3 months or 2 months trial period, what you will still apply for is resident permit for an employed person, which is always 1 year duration, which always have 1 year duration. So even if you get here or you get to Finland and then after 2 months you are sacked, all you need to do is just to look for a job. And the best thing that is there is that you're already here and you have better opportunity. Most of the employers are looking for people who are already on ground than those people who they are going to spend a lot of money to bring into the country. So I don't know who this may be helping. I don't know who may need this information, but I just felt in my heart that I need to share, and people need to learn from my own experience and then plan better and have better information to make their decisions on. So if you're my follower, please subscribe to my channel, go to my WhatsApp group. In the description link of every of my video, you're going to see the WhatsApp group link. That is where I create a family of those who are willing to take action, a family of those who help each other. You get every information you need to get as long as moving abroad is concerned. There you get every information, both the CV samples, both everything that I've done, I've shared there, and people are willing to also help. So when you click on the link, an admin is going to ask you some certain question. If you respond positively, you're actually going to be added or be approved to be a member. So thank you guys, and keep watching. If you have any question, if you have whatever you want me to treat, you have a topic you want me to kind of talk about, please leave it in the comment section, as well as make your recommendation. See you next time. Thank you.